The Battle of Osgiliath in The Return of the King is one of the most iconic sequences from The Lord of the Rings. The amphibious assault under the cover of night, the maelstrom of combat amongst the flooded Gondorian city, and the swooping screams of the Nazgul are the sparks that light the inferno of one of the greatest action scenes in cinema history. And today, the Siege of Gondor begins as we play out that incredible battle on our massive 60 square foot gaming board for Lord of the Rings Warhammer. Our battle begins just moments before the surprise assault, with hundreds of orcs, the vanguard of an even greater force to come, approaching the riverbank in their ramshackle rafts, led by captains Goroth, Zagdush and Guritz, with their chieftains Gothmog and a whole host of winged Nazgul soon to arrive. The forces of Sauron are mighty indeed. Strewn throughout the ruined city are the beleaguered forces of Gondor, a below-strength garrison of warriors, veterans and rangers, led by the mighty son of Denethor, Faramir, and his lieutenants Madril, Damrod, Ingold and Irolas. Our armies are ready, let's meet the players.
I'm Sam, and I'm in the forces of Gondor, defending against the Morannon Orcs.
Hey, my name's John. The time of men is over, and the age of orc is to come.
I'm Lockie, and Osgiliath is going to fall to the forces of the Dark Lord.
The board is set, the pieces are moving, the great battle of our time is about to begin.
Great battle of our time.
Welcome to Zorp of the Rings, my brand new channel dedicated to Lord of the Rings gaming content. If you don't know who I am, I'm Lockie from Zorbazorp, and I build absolutely massive wargaming diorama layouts for Lord of the Rings Warhammer. But over the last couple of years, I've sort of worked out that the YouTube algorithm doesn't let you put crafting and gaming content on the same channel, which means that I've basically stopped making Middle-earth battle reports. And I hate that because I love playing Middle-earth SPG, and what is the point of building all of these gorgeous Middle-earth dioramas if you can never game on them? My big dream for this channel is that every time I finish a new board, a new slice of the Middle-earth mega board, we can play some games on it and film them and put them out right here on Zorp of the Rings, so we can see some awesome Middle-earth gameplay on some awesome Middle-earth gaming layouts.
Right now over on Zorpazorp, you can see the latest update on the Minas Tirith courtyard. It's looking pretty damn awesome, and I cannot wait to fill a brand new battle report on it for you guys, which will come out right here on Zorp of the Rings when the board's finished. But today we have a brand new, never before seen battle report on my 60 square foot Osgiliath mega board, so sit back and enjoy the Battle of Osgiliath.
Great battle of our time.
Evil automatically claim priority in this scenario and surge their rafts forwards towards the riverbank and drop their assault rams clattering into the shallows of the flooded city, upon which any of the forces inside may immediately make a normal move. I have spread my rafts out across the entire 12-foot length of our riverbank, deploying rafts as far north as the flooded cathedral and as south as flooded Old Town. I have concentrated a large portion of my force in the center, where Sam has a larger garrison, and though it might take me longer to overwhelm them without my full force, I'm hoping my units on the flanks will be able to really threaten the enemy in the mid-game. There is a lot of ground to cover on this massive wargaming board, and Osgiliath must be claimed for Sauron. Each side today has two objectives for victory. The western riverbank must be claimed. Whichever force has the most models in the back half of the board will claim this vital location, but the leadership structures of each force will play a critical role in the battles to come, so each side must slay 3 out of 5 of the enemy generals.
My orc rafts have landed all over the riverbank. We have got orcs unloading across the Anduin, but it's time for sneaky old Faramir to lead the Gondorian countercharge.
They're not coming from the north.
In the center of the board, amongst the ruins of the sunken city district, Faramir, Damrod and Madril sprung their own little trap, launching into an advantageous engagement with the leaders of my center force. And slightly further north, Ingold launched a counter-offensive of his own, sizing up one of my generals, Guritz, the Master of Reserves, and decided to take him head-on, with 2 of our key objective models dueling it out from the very first turn. Across the rest of the board, Sam threw his forces in where he could and marshaled his limited cavalry corps. He must throw my forces back into the river before they can establish a foothold.
Now it's the shooting phase. I only got a few turns of sort of good open shooting, so I'm going to try and maximise that as much as possible. It is night rule, so I do get that +1 to wound, so I think we're going to focus down this group of orcs here with this contingent of archers. So needing 4s on these and 3s on the black.
You've got that +1. Oh, 1.
It's 3 wounds.
3 out of there.
I'm going to try focus fire just the back a few guys here. Got a couple shots from above. Rangers on the gold, Minas Tirith on the white.
Oh, hits galore.
Now these are all only strength 2 bows.
So chasing 6s, which goes down to 5 with the night fight. Oh, 1. Just another one. Single orc.
So I'm on the south flank here with my ranger heroes and some archers. Just going to try focus down Gorlith's warband over here just to thin it out a little bit. Ooh, 3 hits, needing those 6s turn into 5s. Oh, 1 will do it.
Anborn's free point of might, grabbing another one. 2 orcs, thinning the ranks. So Sammy's got 6 rangers in these upper ruins going down into the orc spearmen at the back. Drop them.
Needing 3s.
Oh, only 3. 5s to wound. Oh, 3. The whole ranks are snipped out. After 9 orcs were obliterated in the shooting, Goroth wants some revenge. He's on the hunt to get up to these ranger heroes up the top, so he's burning a point of might to call a heroic combat. He's got a spear support as well, and oh, there he goes again! Just like last game, getting the 6s. So he is +1 strength, and yes, he just gets it. He crunches him with the strength 5, and he is going to plow forward. He leaves behind his friend, and let's get into this banner. We'll continue Goroth's journey. Let's see if we can put the banner down as well. Just another 6. Ooh, oh, you got a chance here. No, nothing.
Banner? I'll get a banner myself.
Oh, you do. Banner yourself. It goes down to 3, so it's mine. And fight value as well. And I crunch him. 2 deaths for Goroth, and he edges closer to Mablung and Anborn.
Ingol's charged into Guritz. We're going to try to take him out. I'm going to call a strike.
Nice, so that's going to put up that fight value. Show me by how much. Don't roll a 1. No, okay, so you have crunched me on fight value. I've just got 2 attacks. I'm not going to fight two-handed or I'm going to be in big trouble. I'm on Snake Eyes, man. It's yours. It's yours. You don't even need to use your defense 8 shield wall. You're just going in hot. Defense 6 with my heavy armor there, Sammy. See if Ingol can put some damage into Guritz early. Ooh.
I'll use 1 point of might. Take a wound off.
Nice, all right, let's see if I pass my fate. I've just got the one with Guritz. I pass it with flying colors, so I'm not wounded, but I am a little closer to death. Sammy's going for more heroic combat shenanigans now. We've got Faramir, Madril, and Damrod all in a big fight, and you're calling combats with... Jesus. Studio's falling apart. Osgiliath's falling apart. The studio's falling apart.
Heroic combat with Madril, and I was going to call one with Damrod.
Nice. All right, so let's see. Who are you doing first? Madril and Faramir, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll do Madril and Faramir.
All right, I've got just an orc with a spear support. Let's see if I can at least make this challenging for you. Ooh, not great.
And Madril.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yours. Okay, so you're chasing 5s to wound here with that strength 4.
And also got 2 spears as well.
Oh, rough. Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
Wow, okay.
Minces.
Rip those guys out of there. So the front guy is absolutely mashed, and now they're going to push in.
Just going to move Madril into here, and Faramir's going to help out Damrod.
Nice. I now have a single orc who's going to shield against Damrod, Faramir, and a friend, and he's not setting the bar very high again. Take it away. Yours, and 5s to kill.
And
ooh.
Do another 2 for Faramir.
Oh, God. Damrod.
And his mate.
Just gets the 5 on the final throw of the dice. So he's out of there. Damrod and the Minas Tirith warrior moving around to engage that back line of spears. Oh, Madril, he's cutting him up. He doesn't know his death is imminent. He doesn't know Gothmog's coming. So Damrod has trapped a victim against Faramir, even though he can't fight again. So 1 attack for him, and I'm just going to shield. Ooh, goes to me this time. So I just push you back. And then your lone little Minas Tirith warrior, he's plucked off an orc as well. This is his 2nd time fighting this turn. I'm not going to shield. I'm going to stab. Yes! A chance for victory. Rerolling ones, no wounds. So a big swing to Gondor there. My whole squad is almost cleared out. Oh, Osgiliath is holding firm.
Now over on my main channel, I've been working on the next section of the Minas Tirith mega board that will join the board that you guys can see here in today's battle report, and it's coming along really nicely with the courtyard and the front gate shaping up, but I wanted to add a few more buildings and one final street to the layout, and my mate Jacob from Conquest Creations has sculpted a bunch of gorgeous buildings for me to 3D print, which are just going to work amazingly. He's got this full suite of buildings, structures, towers, a forge, even mighty city walls and a gate, and they're all fully interiored, so they're going to be amazing for gameplay. They're all available right now in his new Kickstarter, Kingdom of Tor Ithalas, which is linked down in the description below, and it would mean the world to me if you would go and support him, one of the true heroes of the Middle-earth SBG community. I sliced up the first round of files that I chose and threw them on the printer, and they came out so cleanly. Just a little bit of like neatening cleanup, and then straight onto the table, and then I threw a few more sheets of foam down to mock up the kind of layout of our city streets, and started exploring the placement of the buildings. I think the small house is actually going to be perfect to sit up on this terrace, which I've been wanting to fill out for ages, and I hadn't got around to carving anything, and then the stable and these kind of two houses can fill out this side of the board with some alleyways in between. I gave them a quick prime in Rust-Oleum flat grey primer, and then a zenithal in both light grey and white to match the prime state of the rest of the city, and they just look fantastic. I can't wait to return to this board next week and finish building them into the city streets and getting some paint on the whole board. It's going to be awesome. Jacob also has another amazing Minas Tirith themed battle report over on his YouTube channel, Conquest Creations, and it's an absolute banger. It's linked down below, and go and check out the amazing Kickstarter, the Kingdom of Tor Ithalas, down in the description. Jacob's an absolute lad and a mate of mine, and it's just a fantastic set of scenery for your Middle-earth games. Across the slopes of the Anduin, amongst the flooded ruins sinking into the great river of Middle-earth, the battle raged with casualties on both sides. For now, Gondor is holding the line, mostly on the back of their key heroes, but the Orc forces are legion, and the Dark Lord has many tricks up his sleeve.
Priority for turn number 2. Let's see if I can keep swarming the beachhead. Oh, big one for Mordor. And a 5 goes to the forces of good.
Choosing to save my limited might points for the combat phase, Sam's Gondor surged forwards uncontested across all fronts. This is a massive battle with my amphibious assault stretching over 12 feet of riverbank, and Sam needs to hold up every warband he can while my orc forces are still constrained by the various choke points close to the river. If I can break any of my forces through his initial riverside garrison and find some space to move in the city beyond, it will be much easier for me to overwhelm his valiant resistance. But with such a horde at my disposal, I still had many models engaged when it came to my movement phase, leaping out of rafts and sneaking through flooded ruined streets and alleyways, so I threw every model I could deep into Gondor territory.
I've pinned most of the orcs on the northern side. However, I do have a lot of orcs here in the open. Then I'm going to use my Ranger hero to try and maximise that +1 to wound. 5 Minas Tirith, just going to shoot into the Morannons. Adds 2 hits, 2 Rangers, 2 hits, and the 2 Ranger heroes, 1 hit. Sixes, and then 6s, and then I got the might point on the last dice. That's 1, and the Ranger with the might, natural, 6, 2 wounds.
Ooze.
So with all this supreme shooting that's going on, the Orcs decided to bring a little bow of their own, but it ain't no little bow at all. The Mordor warbow, some deployable artillery on the raft. Unfortunately, it still needs to hit on a 5. Come on, Orcs. Oh, the Gandalf 6! So he hits, and now he is targeting this beautiful knight up the back here. He takes a strength 9 hit, which is a 3 to wound, but it's a 2 to wound, just another Gandalf 6. He is now flung d6 inches backwards, which knocks over both knights. They're both knocked prone, and the second one takes a strength 6 hit, and he dies as well. The cavalry have been blasted by the Mordor warbow. So you've managed to pin most of my spear support, Sammy, so poor old Guritz down here is all alone, still facing Ingold. I'm not fighting two-handed just like before, and I pulled up a solid 5 this time. Did you strike this time?
Yeah, I got the strike, so I was going to roll for my strike.
So you've got the fight value
Got the fight value.
And now with a spear support as well. Any 5s here and it's yours. Oh,
Gets the
okay.
5.
Try and wound me. I've got no fate but full wounds currently. Nothing because
there.
that's the spear support.
Correct.
Gurrit survives. So another one of my key orc captains is in trouble. It is Zagdush over here, buried by dudes and Gondorian captains, but I've got heroic strike. So that puts me up to fight 10 or fight 9, which is well enough for these captains. And with 3 attacks, I just need 1 big 6 here to keep myself alive. And the Gandalf dice are not quite doing the work. I've got a 5. Show me if I need to spend any more might.
So 2 captains.
No 6s yet.
No 6s and the 2 spear supports. Yeah, I'll use the 2 points of might from one of the captains to change that to a 6.
Okay, cool. So I'll then have to spend a 2nd point of might to get my 6, claim the fight value, and now I win the fight and stay alive, and I've got 3 attacks. I'm just going to pile into that. I'll go into the captain who has might points.
Yeah.
And I have got... I'm strength 4, you're D7, that's no wounds. I'm just going to leave it there and survive to fight another day. It's all about the heroes. It is Goroth's turn to shine, and he's got some cavalry bearing down on him, so he is going to call a heroic combat to try and get out of their line of sight. I've got 2 attacks. Let's see how we go. I'm on 3s and 1s. And a big 2. You got no banner. Let's see if Goroth can absolutely juice him here. And a big 6. The heroic combat slingshots off, and he is going to fly up behind this building here and get in to make a climb and hopefully a charge next turn on the Rangers. Deja vu here in the combat phase of turn 2. It's just heroic combats with Faramir and Madril. They're just going fierce. So, Sammy, what are we doing first?
We'll do a combat with Faramir.
All right, so he's just fighting one orc with
orc.
Damrod and a friend.
3 friends.
Oh, God. All the spear supports. Right, I'm going to shield, obviously. It's not the orky thing to do, and I've been penalized for being out of character.
Faramir.
With 1 dice, you've got it. Take it away. And he is minced. Faramir is free to charge again. Are you going to engage Madril's combat, or are you making a big beeline up the center?
I'm going to move Faramir out of there.
Just another one. No, I'm not going to shield. I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to stab. Here we go. Big single dice for my furious orc. Yes!
Madril.
Take that, Gandalf
Damrod.
dice. Yes.
And his spear sport friend.
All right. Are you going to spend the might?
I will spend the might.
At least I stopped a might point. My guy's trapped as well against the doorway there, so I'm going to get absolutely whooshed here.
Madril, Damrod. Oh,
2s and 3s.
And his spear support.
Oh, spear support clutches it in the final moment. So Madril and the boys are firing up to support Faramir and secure the northern beachhead.
We can't hold them. The city is lost.
Mordor is getting absolutely chopped up right now. I have got orcs falling all over the place to these Gondorian heroes. God, I just wish I had some reinforcements.
Urang?
Hello, Gothmog.
Hey.
Age of men is over.
With the arrival of the almighty Zorbazorb favourite Johnny Yance, Gothmog and the second wave of the Mordor amphibious assault have been unleashed, with a mighty 7 rafts full of orc filth, led by the mighty Lieutenant of Mordor, who, like any nice evil general, was content to let Goroth, Gurritz and Zagdush soften up the enemy, and is driving his forces on from the middle ranks of the Mordor force. Orcs just absolutely poured onto the riverbank, and the Gondorians are now utterly outnumbered, and Sammy will need to begin an immediate rearguard action here.
Alright, so I've sent Gothmog straight into the mouth of Sammy's Rangers to meet the charge, and it looks like we're going to come to blows.
Yeah, we've got Faramir pushing up in that counter response as well. He's brought Madril with him to kind of intercept this new orc wave, but Damrod over here in the middle is going to try and hold the center with this new wave of orcs coming over. And then over here, Sammy called a very nice heroic move and managed to block out the top of that building. So I have just jumped on there with Goroth and made a charge up the embankment. But Sammy, you still got your huge shooting battery. What are we going to do?
Yeah, just going to try to take out some of these orcs that I know is going to be on top of me next turn. So I've got 5 normal Minas Tirith. 2 hits. Nothing there. I've got 2 Rangers as well. Just shooting into the Morannons. That's 1 hit. 6s? No. And then I've got my 2 heroes.
Your big boys, and you got a 3-point of might as well, don't you?
3-point of might on the white. Both hit, and
Nothing.
Nothing there.
Nothing. Take that, Gondor. Then the final big impact for the Gondor shooting is the Avenger Bolt Thrower down into this raft who has not yet embarked. Now show us your swift reload, Sammy. How many shots are you getting this turn?
2D up. So we've got 5. Too bad.
All right, so you're hitting on 4s and strength 6, defense 6. You're going to be wounding on 4s. Let's see if you can take it out.
Oh! 4 hits.
Very nice.
And just need some wounds.
And 2 big wounds. That raft is sunk. 8 orcs who are suddenly plunged into deep water. There's a weird mix of shields and heavy armor, so any 1s and 2s on these immediate swim tests are drowned models. Let's see how many of these guys we are losing, Johnny. I have got, not bad. Just a single one drowns, but the raft is out of there, and they're going to be testing every turn until they clamber ashore.
Gondor could have used a few more of those bolt throwers, with the ramshackle raft plunging to the icy depths of the riverbed. Sam then plinked away with his remaining archers perched throughout the ruins, taking a handful of orc casualties across the board, but it is but a tithe of my massing force.
Once again, we're focusing in on these key combats. We've got Zagdush, Goroth, Faramir, Madril, Ingold, Guritz. They're everywhere. There's so many of them. We're going to start with Zagdush over here, and he is going to strike up once again, and he goes to fight whatever, way higher than the captains. And he's got 3 attacks. He is chasing that big 6. He's got it straight away. I am all good, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see if I can kill that captain I failed to wound last time. A cheeky wound. You going to fade it?
I'll fade it.
Zagdush is keeping himself alive nicely, and hopefully some orcs can get up there to support him before he's swamped. Up next, we'll do Guritz versus Ingold. Now, because we had priority, I've managed to swarm Ingold this time, and I've got Guritz and 2 friends coming in hot on Hurin, on Ingold, and 1 friend. Guritz is setting the tone with a big 6, but our fight value is tied.
I'll use a point of might, change that to a 6.
All right, so we're tied. Here's our roll-off. 1, 2, 3, it goes to evil. Yes, it's mine. Here's my chance to get some wounds back, and most importantly, keep Guritz alive.
Don't forget, I am defense 8 because of the shield rule.
Okay, so because of Ingold's crazy shield wall rule, plus 1 defense while he's in formation, he can back away and stay in formation because of your lovely setup there. So it's just 4 attacks coming in hot, chasing 6s by, it'll be just 6s. So 1 6, that is 1 wound because I am strength 5. Show us your fate point.
Fate point.
Saved it.
Lovely.
Okay, so we're both out of fate and unwounded over there on that fight. Goroth, he's had a tough time though. He's had to sprint up and he's fighting a captain and a spearman with support up the embankment. But I need to get to those ranges. I got 2 attacks. Let's see what we can do here. I'll come in here for you, Johnny. We're chasing big 6s here. I've only got the 4. Show us your low rolls, Sam.
So I got my captain, 2 helpers.
And it goes on the 6. I have got only 1 point of might left, so I lose that. You're going to be rolling to wound.
Captain the white.
1 cheeky wound on Goroth. I'll fate that. And he loves it with the Witch King 6. I'm unwounded. Hopefully I get some more support next turn from the rest of the Morannons.
Alright, the time of the orc has come. It's time for Gothmog's roll.
Ooh, big 5s.
2 rangers and 2 Minas Tirith in there.
Oh, that's rough.
And no banner. Knockdown, so 2 attacks on all my guys because you charged.
Yep, that'll do. 4s. Oof.
Number 3. Yep, okay. Should have done that heroic move.
That's a 4, it's on a ranger. Where was the heroic combat, John?
After Gothmog went absolutely mental right on the riverbank, combat raged across the city in one of the most brutal fight phases of the game so far. Iralas and the Minas Tirith captain both lost their combats near the northern dock, but were unwounded, and with the sheer number of models on the board, we smashed through another turn of just intense bloody fighting, with the orcs slowly and steadily pushing the forces of Gondor back. The objectives of this scenario are making for some fascinating gameplay, play. Each side needs to balance the damage output of their heroes to try and either defend or attack that back half of the board and get their precious models across the center line. But if they are too cavalier with their precious heroes, they risk giving the opposing side a good chance at scoring their hero hunting objective. And of course, the even more bold strategy is to risk your own heroes to try and hunt down your opponents. Now, who would do such a thing like that?
Johnny set up an absolutely killer heroic combat here with Gothmog to take out Ingold's spear supports and trap him against Guritz. Guritz won the combat, trapping him has done 1 wound, and I'm going to spend my final 2 might to do 2 wounds, killing Ingold and scoring the first hero victory for the forces of Mordor.
Turn 5's movement phase shaped up as a critical passage of play, with Sam trying to respond to the death of Ingold with a bold maneuver, sending several of his key heroes in to try and flash kill some enemy generals, whilst fighting rearguard actions across the rest of the board.
Gothmog had some big plans in here, but Faramir and Madril have jumped in with a nice heroic move, which went to us at the beginning of turn 5, and now, boys, it's combat time. Now, you've just won the heroic strike-off, Sammy.
Yes, I have.
But
So
2 attacks.
not as good as Gothmog's 3 and his little friend at the back there.
Show us the money.
Ooh.
Oh, no!
Here we go.
So you got 3 for Gothmog and a spear support, Johnny.
Anything high, there we go.
I think Faramir could be in trouble.
Tell the men to break cover. Be right for Minas Tirith.
4 plus to wound.
That's just 1.
1 wound. You've got your spear support in there as well. He's just a flat 5. No wound, so just the 1 wound. He's got 2 fate because he's a big boy.
Loves it.
He loves it. So just a fate chipped off, but things did not go as well for the Prince of Ithilien as he had hoped.
Well, things have gone from bad to worse for the forces of Gondor, with no clapback on the Mordor heroes, and at the beginning of turn 6, a third wave of reinforcements soars onto the battlements on wretched pinions and foul flapping flesh, as 3 Nazgul on fell beasts soar across the Anduin to spur on the hosts of their fell master.
That was like the most lethal couple of turns of SPG I've ever seen. 5s and 6s everywhere. And I'm going to need another one right now. We need a big old priority roll here. I am on a 5. I got one. Oh, it's a 3. Okay, you're calling any heroic moves?
Yeah, I need some. Baragon's point of might.
Okay, cool. So he's
Trying
going to
to
move
move.
and surge forward. Any others for you?
Faramir, because I just need to get him out from Gothmog. Just
Okay.
Gothmog is on a rampage at the moment.
He is absolutely beasting it. In 2 turns, he killed 8 guys on arrival. Since then, he's put down another 4. He is filth. We'll countercall over here with this Morannon Orc captain just to try and get Zagdush out of there. That's his last point of might. And then, Johnny, should we call with Gothmog?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe Guritz. Guritz has got
Guritz,
might,
yeah.
and then we can send Gothmog forward to kill either Madril or Faramir. We need to kill these heroes. It's pretty much going to come down to the heroes. The backside of the board is probably looking good for Mordor. I think we've got
Yeah, I
orcs
think
swarming
Mordor.
there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can have some big hero fights. So the roll-off. I have priority, so I will do it. 1, 2, 3. It goes to Mordor. Oh! Let's go and catch us a Faramir or a Madril. I'll take either at this point. Now Gothmog is free to leap at Faramir, and now we can swamp Madril with as many orcs as we can.
Across such a massive board, the huge battle lines always seem to break down into a series of smaller skirmishes, as clusters of troops battle over key choke points or strategically significant locations, and the real generalship of our players here is managing their resources. Every might point spent to impact the flow of battle is crucial, with Sam's defenders choosing to almost completely abandon the board control objective and threw themselves into the maelstrom to try and kill our precious Mordor generals.
Surprisingly, not a single heroic of anything has been called in this combat phase, so we're just moving through and it's all about the heroes now. And Goroth, not being able to have priority, is not going to get to Anborn and Magblung this turn, so he's just pinned by a bunch of Gondor troops. Let's see what he can do. A big 6 here to keep himself alive. Oh! He's the 6 rolling king, man. So he's just going to boof a couple of these guys on the head, hopefully free it up. 2 4s with Goroth's +1. He's actually wounding the captain there on 5s, which goes down to 4s. I'm going to put both of those on the captain and test that fate point.
Let's fight it.
A big Gandalf 6. Okay, right. Well, he managed to survive the turn, and that's what matters to keep the Mordor scoreline in the green. Next fight along is Zagdush. He has been trying to survive all game. He had a bit of reinforcement, but that has now been swamped by this massive contingent of Citadel Guard. I have got 3 attacks. I'm not modifying my stats, so I'm keeping my high defense. Let's see how we go here. I am on 5s.
2 captains in there and 2 Citadel Guards. So captains, Gandalf 6 for days.
I am way out of might now, so that is yours, and Zagdush is trapped. There's nothing I can do there.
First captain.
That's 2 wounds.
2 wounds, and
his fate is gone.
he's dead.
Zagdush has fallen. That's finally a point on the board for Gondor. Leaving it late, Sammy.
We need it.
You're making a rush. You're making a rush. 2 massive fights to go down now. We've got Gothmog v Faramir and Madril v the Orc Chaff. I think we're kicking it off with Gothmog, Johnny. It's the time of the Orc. Gothmog charge, so 4 attacks. He's 5 high. You've got a shot here. You've got a shot here,
So
Sammy.
I've got Faramir's 2 plus his friend.
Oh, 5s. Oh, still 5s. You got
double
might.
point of might.
You've got might, and you have none.
I'm out.
You have none. All right, Faramir buffs him back again. You're gonna strike at Gothmog.
I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna flash kill him.
Flash kill him. Do it. Flash everything on Gothmog.
Oh!
I think you just flashed him. Alright, Gothmog survives, Faramir does nothing. Well, let's see if we can get Madril and swing this to the favour of Mordor. We have got only 2 orcs because Sam has cleverly peeled 2 of them off, but he is trapped if we win the fight. Show us the rolls, boys. Strong.
Oh,
Yes! Alright, 4 strikes on Madril. Because our 2 orcs are within 12 inches of Gothmog, they get to reroll failed wounds, and within 3 they get +1 to wound. We have got to mince this guy. Come on, let's get it. 4 attacks. That is 1 wound, rerolling 3. We need more than that. Oh, that's 3 wounds! 3 big wounds. Madril is out of there.
Alright, we've got one last sneaky combat here. Damrod is fighting for his life, so we're going to roll some dice and see how he goes.
Is he pinned in there? Trapped? Definitely trapped.
Yeah.
You've got 2 orcs on him?
2 orcs, yep.
Including a drummer. Bang his head in with the drum.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Strong. No, goes to us, and he spent his point of might for heroic combat. 4 strikes. We're just out of range of Gothmog, so no bonuses here, no rerolls. Doesn't need it. That's you've got your fate point. Yeah, okay. Fail it. Show us the 3. Yes! Get him out of there. 2 heroes in 1 turn. The Rangers are falling. Faramir is beleaguered and alone.
With Ingol, Damrod, and Madril now all dead, the evil side have completed their general hunting objective, killing 3 out of 5 heroes of the West. It's not game over yet, but Mordor have the upper hand.
Final turn priority, show me the money. Oh, big good. We have no might down here, so that's basically Faramir guaranteed. These guys are going to be swinging in hard to try and help claim this quarter. It's going to be our ring rates, I think. They're going to be our big players this turn.
Sam now not only has to kill 2 more of our Mordor generals, but also have more troops in the back half of the board. A very slim chance indeed, but he should be able to scrape one of those conditions for a draw. To hedge his bet, Sam withdrew as many of his forces as possible towards that center line and pinned as much of the Mordor force as he could, including trapping Goroth, who I recklessly charged up into the southern ruins last turn.
With the hero objective complete, for us as evil, it's all about the inner city, the back half of the board beyond this courtyard. So I'm going to fly, pretty much the only play our rate's going to make for this game in the final turn. He's going to fly down and throw a big 4 dice compel to bring one of these lads in over here. Just going for one of the warriors. He gets it off on a 4. The warrior cannot resist, and he comes on in 3 inches. And that's going to set me up for either a barge or maybe even a hurl to try and thin these numbers and stop them from scoring at the end of the turn. Our second fell beast, he of course has no Zagdush to save, which is why he was here, so he's just going to fly in and do the exact same thing. A 4 dice hurl, I've got 3 over here, big 6, and he brings one of these lads here to set up for another barge or a hurl. We have to mince that group of Citadel Guard, that armoured battalion, get them away from scoring.
Alright, so it looks like the Wraiths are just mopping things up around this back line.
Not enough range to charge, but I just did an interesting little technique that you might not have heard of. I think it's time to throw a compel, Johnny.
Oh, excellent. Alright, here we go. We'll throw 3 dice at it.
And gets the big 5. This little guy runs on in. He is going to get minced, hopefully. That is 1 less score for Gondor.
Alright, so we're going to move this other Wraith straight into close combat, and then as he goes in, we're going to throw in a transfix as well.
1, 4, he gets it.
6.
I'm going to try and resist.
Oh yes, you've got 1 point of will with Ablung. Oh, no luck. Big 6. So you're set up. We're finally going to kill those pesky Ranger heroes after Goroth failed all game.
The Southern Mordor force, who have finally cut their way through Sam's ever-dwindling southern garrison, managed to make a big surge across the center line, netting a bunch of scoring units for Mordor, which might just be enough to tip the scales.
The game is right down to the wire here in Osgiliath. The Mordor heroes have killed 3 out of 5 Gondor heroes, so we have scored that 1 point. Each side now needs to score 1 more point for victory. The back half of the board is currently in Gondor's favor, 26 to 24 models, but they also might be able to finally claim their point for killing heroes. They've got Goroth set up here and potentially even Gothmog on the other side. They need both of these to be kills. We'll start with Goroth. Goroth has been throwing 6s all game. Let's see if he can repeat the offense and keep the forces of Gondor at bay. 2 dice for him with his big burly fight 5. He is on 5, Sammy. Who have you got in the fight? A captain?
I've got a captain and a ranger and a spearman. So
Oof, yeah, okay. You've got some numbers. So
Alright.
4 dice coming in hot.
2 for the captain. Ah,
Big Gandalf 6. This is the time to win it. I have no might. So that is yours, and I am trapped. I am heavy armor defense 6 for Goroth, so it'll be 5s for your captain, 6s for everyone else.
don't forget your special rule though.
Oh, what's my special? Oh, the orc killing thing.
Yeah, so there's a potential that you could use mate next to him on a 2+.
Taken 1 already, I think, and no fate.
Correct.
Yep, so 1 wound here will kill me, but I might be able to save it. Oh, man, the trapped is hurting. 2 big 6s. Okay, 2 wounds already. Do you want to do your troops? Let's know the total wound count, and we'll see if we can save this. And they've got, look at those 5s, man, but they need 6s to wound. So just 2 wounds. I've got 1 orc nearby on a 2+. I can grab that orc and deflect 1 of the wounds. I need a big 2 here. He saves the first, and then all the other orcs, there's no one within an inch. They're over there in combat with the ranger. Unfortunately, that is Goroth's final wound. So you have now 2 Mordor heroes out of 3. Johnny, you gotta keep Gothmog alive, man. Gothmog has been charged by 3 Valiant Rangers, so it's just the 3 attacks for you, Johnny, but you got the fight value, obviously. See what you can do.
Here we go.
Oh, that's weak, Sammy. You got this. Oh, no. No, absolutely whiffed it. Rinse him. Rerolling wounds, +1 to wounds. And that is 2 of the Rangers dead. Reroll the fail. Get him out of there. Murders all 3. The time of the orc has come. There are 4 fights left that matter. I've won my hero objective, and you now cannot win yours, Sammy. So if you win the backboard, it's a draw. If I win the backboard, Mordor claims Osgiliath. And those 4 fights are all for Nazgul. We need to get some kills, and that way we can take control of the back half of the board. We'll start with this one up the back here. He's just fighting a single warrior. I'm coming in hot with 3 attacks on the charge, got the fight value. I've got the 6 with the big Witch King symbol on it. We automatically take it. I'm now gonna hurl him D6 inches. He is going, big Witch King symbol 6. He is flying through like 10 guys, man. It's so bad. Okay, so he's obviously dead. He takes a strength 3 hit for each of those. Just dies. And now each of those guys take a strength 3 hit as well. 8 warriors of Gondor about to get smushed by their companion. I need 5s on the gold and 6s on the white for the captain. Look at that. 2, 3 dead. That is chipping away at that hold. Not all of them are right in the scoring zone, but we've at least got 1 or 2. Let's move on to the Wraith over on this side. He is going to do the exact same thing. First of all, he's got to win the fight. Here we go, big 6. Oh no, it's 5s. There you go. I'll let you interact with this game. Big 4 goes to me. You've got no banner. I'm going to hurl again. That worked amazing. And even if it doesn't kill him, hopefully it throws him over the scoring boundary. He is going 4 inches. Yep, that's enough to be through the door, and he is going to hit 5 guys. So he takes 4 strength 3 hits. He survives, and each of the 4 guys that he gets hit, 2 of them die, and then he takes a final strength 6 hit, which doesn't kill him. So we just kill another 2. That is bringing it home to Mordor. There's one more Wraith fight to do over the other side. We've got one Wraith on this side of the board who actually matters. The other guy's fighting the Ranger, but if he tries to hurl him, he might throw him into the scoring zone. So I'm just going to leave that be, and we're going to focus in on this Wraith here who is fighting a single guy. He's got 3 attacks on the charge again, only 5s. That is brutal. A big Gandalf 6. Obviously, I'm a Witch King. I got 2 points of might. So I'm gonna be rude to your brave warrior of Gondor, and I'm gonna spend the point of might to win the fight. And I think we might be in the comfortable margins here. I'm just gonna rend, striking against his strength instead of defense. That will be 3s to wound with strength 6, 1 and 2, and a 5. He is gone. And Osgiliath has been seized by Mordor. Grab the forces of Barad-dûr and Minas Morgul and bring them across the river.
With the absolute carnage of the final turn, the backline objective swung from 24 to 26 to Gondor to 24 to 21, with Mordor holding Osgiliath by a measly 3 models and hunting their generals. And hunting 3 Gondor generals to win the game 2-0 for the first Mordor victory in the Siege of Gondor mega campaign. A massive shout out to Sam and Johnny for helping me film this one, and to Sam, John, Jacques from Conflict Colors, and Ryan from Battlecraft Hobbies for all the gorgeous models we saw on the table. If you're enjoying the battle reports here on Zorp of the Rings, go and check out the full playlist. I'll link it down below, and make sure you like and subscribe on this video, and check out the Patreon link down in the description if you want to get behind the little channel, and throw down a comment on who you thought the MVP of this match was. I think that both Gothmog and my ability to roll 6s are pretty serious contenders. This battle report is a real landmark, the very first brand new bat rep on Zorp of the Rings, so get behind this little Zorp side channel and there will be a whole lot more on the way. Thanks for watching, guys.